Haters and shambles, they stay picking the corn out my shit. Oh, hey everybody. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've spoken to y'all. I'm ill. I don't know if you're American. I don't even know if this is going around the world or just the Midwest or what, but um I've got influenza type A, which I think is also known as H1N1, also known as swine flu or bird flu. Isn't that fucking great? So the story is, um, um, Electra's grandmother, one of the nicest people I know, had to go to the Cleveland Clinic, which around here is the best hospital you can go to. It's like an hour away. And yeah, so she's coming home, but for a while things were not looking good, right? And so you know how if a family member isn't, everybody goes to see them. Well, as it turns out, part of the reason why she seemed so bad off was because she had the bird flu. People thought she was having a heart attack and going through heart failure. And while that's technically true, it was because of this flu, or in part because of the flu. I didn't go. Electra went. Electra went with her father and her aunt, her three aunts, her and her father, and a few other people were there. Every single one of them is bedridden right now. Her aunts, her cousins, her dad, she's upstairs in bed way worse than I am. I am giving it right now. I'm putting more effort into speaking to you than when I'm doing Mr. CEO Man trying to react to E3. Like, I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a ring migraine right here. When I move my eyes, it feels like my head is gonna like it's getting stabbed. I don't have the cough. Electra's got the cough, and when you're in a relationship, I don't know if this is everybody, but this is how I do it. Whoever is less sick takes care of the person who's more sick. So everybody, you know what I mean? So like I'm doing my best to take care of my wife. She's got like 2 humidifiers going. What's on my lap is my microphone. She's got 2 humidifiers going and lots of Dayquil and NyQuil, but I'm on that too. I wanted to stream because I wanted to say hello and let you guys know that I'm still alive and I'm still here. It was recently my birthday, and on Friday it was my birthday. I turned 28. We're still going to do a bit of a birthday stream when I feel better. But it's crazy how quickly this shit spreads, because like Electra went to her grandma's and then came home, and we didn't know it was happening. We didn't hear about the flu. So I have a little birthday gathering at Dave and Buster's, which was strange, but it was my best friend Garrett from high school was there, and my brothers were there, and my uncle was there, and it was fun. Everybody's sick. Everybody is sick right now. This sucks. This really does suck. It's I don't know. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad. My mom seems okay and still has to do her job, which involves speaking to a lot of people in the community, and everybody's sick. It's crazy. I live in the middle of nowhere. I live in a very, very small rural town in Ohio. Everybody is sick. The kind of town where everybody knows everybody. Yeah, it's like people talk about how the way things were in the 80s doesn't exist anymore. Well, it does in middle America, in rural towns. Like my neighbors are amazing people, but they're old, and they're terribly ill. My uncle is ill. My aunt is fine. Yeah, everybody's sick. But Electra's bedridden. So I'm doing better. Like, I have to go and run errands. Yes, okay. You want to know how, like, what probably why it's spreading so much? Um, I subscribe to the idea that if I'm sick, and I have to go to the store, I should wear a mask to not get other people sick. Like, you know, we're not in the midst of a pandemic, I don't think. It kind of feels like we are, but we're not going to talk about it. But I wore a mask to the grocery store to be able to pick up Electra some more cold and flu medicine, and myself, because we're both taking it right now. But I got yelled at. This older woman, not super old, but older, yelled at me. We don't have to do that anymore. Why are you doing that? You're just trying to brainwash. Why are you so brainwashed? And it's like, I literally looked at her and go, I have swine flu. And she stopped yelling at me and then walked away. But I didn't get super duper close to her, but I did go like, I have swine flu. So she probably got sick. Yeah. But that kind of thing, that kind of mentality of how people behave and view the world, how susceptible a person may be to what their leaders tell them, how much they're willing to question things that they're told. That's you get what I mean. I live in a very red area. So nothing you can do about it. But yeah, I'm still going to go out. Like, if I have to go to the store to pick something up from my much sicker wife, I'm going to wear a mask. Like, think about how they do it in Japan and China and stuff. Like, if you're sick, you wear a mask. That's just what you do. I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Why did I get yelled at for that? Anyways. So the Half-Life Marathon, weren't you moving to Canada 4 years ago? Yeah, that got much harder and much more expensive and is now impossible. It's especially impossible. Like, it's a whole thing. I don't want to get into, like, personal financial stories and shit, but, over the last 4 years, it feels like life has gotten a bit harder, huh? The shitification of everything. Yeah, I bought like 6 things at the store yesterday, and it was over $100. I got a 2-pack of Dayquil and NyQuil. I got the store brand. I got some ibuprofen. I got some cough drops. I got a Monster, 1 single can of Monster, because there's this new flavor I wanted to try. Oh, and I got a little frozen dinner for Electra and a pack of gum. It was $112. So, exclamation point donate in the chat, I guess. So, I've seen the reason why I'm doing the stream. I know that I love hearing myself yap. I apologize about that. Was the Monster yummy? Yeah. No, it was good. This new flavor is pretty good. What was I gonna? Oh, okay. So, I've seen people draw conclusions based on things that I'm doing. So I'm gonna just speak a few truths to you, Lint with the 58 months. Thank you so much. You're on a plane though.
58 months. That's exactly how many months that Gabe Newell actually loved his son.
Okay. Lynn, I hope you understand that anything that we talk about stays between us. What the fuck? Um, can't hear the subscription. Yeah, it's muted. So, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm on all over the place. I just want to like actually talk to you about a couple of things. What the fuck is that hairstyle? It's called swine flu. Haven't showered. It's called I'm ill. It's called I'm noticing people are drawing conclusions to something, and I want to make sure that I curb that before it hits media res, and then I get blamed for something I didn't say again. It's the swine flu fade. Nice. No more tour with the tier 1. Thank you so much. Okay, I gotta focus. So, HLX has been in development at Valve since at least 2021. That's as far as we understand it. It could be before, could be a little bit after, because even if a code name is appearing in something, it doesn't mean it's in full production at that moment. It could be a pre-pro situation. It could be a prototyping stage. That was definitely the case with Citadel. We found out about Citadel in 2018, and it didn't really hit development until after, it was like a year later, a year and a half later. You take a look at the little bits and pieces of prototype footage that we have of Citadel that Yoshi shared. It was a completely different thing. It was a test bed. It was a first-person thing with antlions, and so HLX has been in some form of development since at least then. Could be even earlier, because Gabe Newell did do some interviews like the summer and fall in 2020 after Half-Life Alyx came out, and he said, oh, they're very enthusiastic. They have so many ideas, and they're doing all these things. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, whatever they were working on at that point is what still is the thing. Like, they could have rebooted it in production or something. Doesn't matter. We can all assume that. That's whatever. Last time we talked about leak strings was in December. We have a basic understanding of systems and gameplay mechanics and the gameplay loop of that game. And then everybody went on holiday break. And since then, there has not been a single string leak related to HLX since December. It's kind of strange, but every Source 2 game is not really getting engine level updates, even though we do understand that Source 2 as an engine has seen some updates. Dota 2 and CS2 have not been updated to that new backend version. So there's two ways of interpreting that. One, it didn't survive holiday break. Or two, it's kind of an all hands on deck situation. And they're pushing it to the last phase of development, which would not involve many back-end engine level changes, but instead would be polishing up what exists. This happened with Half-Life Alyx. But yeah, I mean, that's where we're at right now with Half-Life Alyx. HLX. Gabe Followers stated that he's heard some stuff, but I haven't really spoken to him in a while. So for now, we're kind of waiting for confirmation in the back end of Source 2 development games, which predominantly is um, Deadlock, Counter-Strike 2, and Dota 2. Um, it should also be stated, yeah, Borealis is saying something correct. Valve has changed how backend depots are seen publicly due to tools like Steam DB. That change in particular would not affect diff checking DLLs, diff checking library files in Source 2 updates. What it does signal, however, is a want to be a bit more secretive about their development processes, and that's fine, I guess. What else? So, really, what we're waiting for. So, this is the issue, right? We have not had this. We have not since everybody came back from break, which was early to mid January, so a little over a month. We have not had like a major update for anything this whole time. Deadlock updates have slowed down. There's a rumor that they're kind of changing how they're doing the test, but I'm looking into that. Counter-Strike 2, nothing. Dota 2, kind of some stuff, but pretty much everything that we've seen, for example, 4 new heroes in the main game of Deadlock, that was just pushing something that already existed in the code to something else. So there's nothing to be worried about. I mean, what I'm saying is, we don't have confirmation that it survived holiday break yet. So, that said, a project that is in development for the length of time that it's been in, Valve's change of tune on talking about canceled Half-Life games, Jason Schreier coming forward and being like, yeah, we're going to see Half-Life again. Like, I don't think... Oh, the G-Man tweet. Yeah, I don't think it got canceled. I don't think it got shelved or anything. I think Valve has... Valve is probably focusing on trying to get something to the finish line. Valve never truly does like an all hands on deck thing, but yeah. Don't shoot the messenger, Jesus Christ. They did external testing, either they're happy or finishing or didn't like and redo. Yeah. And then there's the SteamOS stuff. Yeah, there's Deadlock. Yeah. It's Counter-Strike 2 being an unfinished pile of random shit. There's that. Could it be Deadlock that they're pushing the finish line? No. Deadlock is quite a while. I'd say Deadlock is further from the finish line than Half-Life is at this point. So that's the thing, right? They started doing external testing. Is it possible that they want to redo something major? Yeah, and I mean, but the thing is, we don't know what stage it's in. Like, I'm trying to get a handle on that, but I'm just ill. I'm just sick. So, isn't Deadlock just basically launched? No, it's a very different situation for Deadlock. I wouldn't call it launched. I would call it a closed beta, a closed alpha that a lot of people could get into. So, but they want to, Deadlock is gonna go away for a while, come back. Like it's gonna be in that kind of weird ephemeral place for a while. Do you think Valve is waiting because GTA 6 is this fall? No, I don't think Valve gives a shit. Valve almost never gives a shit about competitors and stuff like that. So, questions, 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 questions. Room looks good, thank you. Any hardware stuff? Yeah, it looks like they're still working on the ARM-based stuff. What are the odds of HLX releasing the same year as GTA 5? 0, because that happened in 2013. Can we assume that anything about the state of the next Half-Life game during the next few weeks or months, especially since Deadlock got leaked so much that they might be more careful about stuff leaking? Well, Deadlock was externally tested to the point where it was in the hands of hundreds and hundreds of people, and so eventually it just kind of like, you know, when we say externally tested, it literally means bringing in randos to try the game, and not letting people download the game, you know, to their own main PCs and stuff like that. Have you heard anything from your sources about HLX? So, no. No. That's the thing. I haven't even tried to speak to any of them at this point. So. There's a few people. So I had to redo my Discord page, my Discord account. I had to redo my Discord account, open it to a new one, because I got locked out of my old one, and some of my sources were through there. So I need to somehow reconnect with those people. Somehow. But I'll figure that out. That one streamer said something huge is coming for Deadlock in August. Okay. And why do you believe them? I got you if you need 3D renders still. Hey, thank you. Send a ticket to Discord support. I did. You seriously have swine flu? I do. Yeah, I do. It's taking so much energy to do this right now. It's insane. How was sex with pig? What the fuck? You're getting over bronchitis? Shit sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you think Valve will be launching HLX alongside their Fremont console? No. Is swine flu the fault of the guy that you met at a gym who was coughing everywhere? No. No, this one wasn't really anybody's fault. What month span do you think HLX will release in? I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's hard to tell. Genuinely, though, like, why do you guys think I would know release dates? Like, I am curious, why do you think I would know a release date? I'm still healthy. That's good. I'm not. Why wouldn't you? You just know? Passionate Gamer knows a lot. Okay. Yeah, Valve doesn't even know the release date exactly. You knew with Half-Life Alyx? I didn't know a release date with Half-Life Alyx, no. Yeah, okay. But the tertiary and secondary people are those that caused me pain. You know? My opinion of the audience and this job changed dramatically following the Game Awards, and how everybody behaved following the Game Awards. I kind of changed how I felt about it, and feel like I don't owe anybody anything, because no matter how good of a job I do, if thing doesn't happen, which is beyond my control, y'all are still going to try and dox and kill me. So it kind of makes this parasocial relationship a bit strange for me. It also doesn't help that I'm ill and grumpy right now. So I've trusted since the beginning of Citadel. Right, okay. How would they announce HLX? Social media, YouTube video. Don't they vaccinate against those flus? Yes, but they cost a lot of money. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's just going to be a Twitter post like Half-Life Alyx. It's going to be bigger than that. They were concerned about Half-Life Alyx due to it being, the first Half-Life game in 13 years and, 12 years at that point, and it's VR only, You play as Alyx, So they were concerned about, like, the strangeness of it. Yeah, so what happened at the Game Awards where people were convinced that Half-Life 3 was going to be at the Game Awards and that information came from me and that I just said, yes, guys, it's going to be at the game, it's going to be there. Never said that. I talked about here are the reasons why here are the things that are hinting towards it happening. Here are the things that are hinting towards it not happening. And then we were all watching the Game Awards live, and when the Game Awards ended and there wasn't any Half-Life, it was like what was it? It was like people watched me dox someone live. You would have thought that I just endangered a child based on how everybody was reacting and behaving. It was fucking insane. Are you familiar with the guy? Yes, I am familiar with that person. Yeah, I am. Yeah. And then, we had some groups of people try and get into my personal accounts again, and they wanted to find out where I live. They wanted to end my career. They had like this whole plan to hack Valve and then blame me so that I got arrested for it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're running the Model Viewer++. That's cool. Yeah, so if it ever feels like I get frustrated with the audience because it feels like the audience is entitled to something from me, it's because I've been doing Valve-related content since 2011, and I've been doing YouTube since 2006. And yeah, I don't know any of you anything. I'm the passionate gamer, not the passionate brown noser. So, what are you gonna do? I love the background change. Thanks. This is my new house. So do I think that HLX will be released when Gabe's still in the office? I think Gabe's still going to be at Valve until Gabe dies. I think that is a lifelong thing for Gabe. Did they actually succeed in any of their attempts of doing anything to you? No. But that was because they had a whistleblower internally warn me of everything, and then I changed all the passwords of everything, changed my phone number, set up two-factor authentication through external apps, and security keys, like physical security keys, which I do have a few copies of hidden around the house, but physical security keys. Closed some old accounts, invested in hardware-based VPN and proxy services, upgraded some older components that might have vulnerabilities, sandboxed out each individual part of my network. So my game consoles are technically their own network. My old computers are technically their own network. And in that process, I also, well, how much of this can I talk about? Is the security breach the reason you moved? No. I contacted Valve about the situation, and Valve actually took it seriously and worked with me, which was very, very nice. Are you sure they weren't intentionally trying to scare you with fake plans? It doesn't matter. Threats are threats, right? So I don't work at Valve, but I do have the emails and previous experiences with Valve's legal department for numerous reasons. And when something really, really, happens, they do listen, which is very nice. The silver lining of getting scolded by Valve Legal 5 years ago is that I now can contact Valve Legal when something happens, which I don't. The last time I contacted them was like 4 years ago, but credit where credit is due. I sent an email to their head, their main guy, and he got back to me in like a day. Here's a list of questions. Can you please answer them? Do you know any identities? No, I don't actually. They're all usernames. Okay, I'm going to connect you with this other guy. And then I worked with this other guy for a while. It was cool. Yeah. So, that calmed me down. And, they were building a botnet. That was actually happening. That's how I know it wasn't just base threats, because I was able to get a hold of some of the executable files that were used to build the botnet. And it was a fake Half-Life. It was a fake version of the Source Engine model viewer, like this fork of a model viewer for Source Engine that was still a model viewer, but it acted as it connected your computer into the part of the botnet. So, stuff like that. I know that some community bans were given out and stuff like that. So, all that stuff happened. Isn't Shapiro's tweet confirmation that HLX is still in production? You tell me. You tell me. Is it? What do you think? No, it's not. God. Every time I do something big, I always say, until Valve makes a confirmation as to something, take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Everything can change. Nothing is confirmed. Let's get started. So, but yeah, in that process, I got locked out of my old Discord account. That did actually happen, which sucks. It was a sacrifice that I had to make. When I tried to change, I was changing some settings around. Tried to change the password. They wanted a key. Okay, I put the key in, changed the password. Now they want a different key, and the key didn't match, and now I can't get into the account. So I just opened a new account, and I contacted Discord support, and they're like making me jump through all these hoops, and I still haven't gotten access to the account. And so that does mean that one source in particular is going to be very difficult to get back into contact with, but I'll try. What happened with the Doom video? I got sick. So from January 20th to January 31st, I was working on 4 videos, got all 4 done. One of them got canceled. From Microsoft canceled it. And then I was working with Hugo to try and like spruce it up into something else. And I might still do that, but I had some sponsors I had to fulfill. So the last 2 videos of last month were videos that I had like in the can, like, you know, things that I was going to do anyways, but I pushed them up to get those out. And then I took a few days, not off, but I took a few days, first few days of February, to get my office together finally. And I did, to an extent, as you can see, and the same goes for my basement downstairs. Watching you live delete finished video was sad. Think how I felt, man. Think how I felt. I was so proud of that video. So proud of that video. Oh well. I miss your old office / room. Yeah, well, people were saying that when I moved last time into the townhouse basement. This is a real house. It's not in a basement. I have a window here. I have a window there. There's a window there. I actually have natural light in my office, which is huge for my mental health. I have been streaming to Twitch consistently and regularly for over a decade now. I started in 2014. Oh my God, really? Yeah. Oh God. So I'm 28 now. This room reminds me of the Snake Shack house. Oh, it's because I set it up purposefully to look similar. You know, with the shelves behind me here. But yeah, this is a house in the same, it's, you know, we're in the same area of Ohio. The old house, the Snake Shack house is, well, first of all, the Snake Shack house doesn't exist anymore. It was demolished, but it's like maybe 15 minutes away from here. Yeah, but no, this is a completely different house. The reason why it looks similar is because the layout is somewhat the same. Only there was like a shelf here, not a television. Back here was a shelf, doorway, shelves, and then over here was a wall. It's the same, but there's no snakes. It's a much, much better house, and also the wood paneling. I love wood paneling. Would you give a tour of your new room? Yeah, when it's done. It's almost done, but it's not done. But yeah, in that time, I've been streaming since 2014. Started in my mom's basement before I moved out for the first time. I was just graduated high school. It was the summer that I graduated high school that I started streaming. That was my mom's basement. Then Electra and I moved out November 2015. That was our first apartment. Our first apartment was very nice. Then we moved to Electra's dad's house for a while. Then the Snake Shack for 2 years. And then from the Snake Shack, we go to the townhouse. I was in the townhouse for 5 years. That was the Half-Life Alyx house. And now I've moved here, and this will be the Half-Life 3 house. This is the Doom Dark Ages house. Do you think you'll experience Half-Life 4 back in the Snake Shack? No, because the Snake Shack doesn't exist anymore. It was demolished. As soon as we moved out, the landlord was like, okay, I'm going to send a contractor in to see what I have to renovate to sell it, to put it up to code. Contractor comes out. I know this because the Snake Shack was owned by a family member. But the contractor comes out to take a look at the Snake Shack and condemns the house. It was not fit to live in. The reason why we call it a Snake Shack, it was this terribly run-down little shack, really, that we lived in for 2 years because it was cheap. And it had a drop ceiling, not unlike the one in here, and in part of the house, because I think the house used to be like a storefront for something, like 60, 70 years ago. And in the drop ceiling, we had raccoons and snakes. There was an apartment part. There was like these 3 big rooms that were very shack-like, and that's where my office was. And then there was like a little apartment with a kitchen, living room, and bedroom and bathroom, and that's where we like lived. The apartment part was not as bad as the part where I worked out of. And there were animals living in the drop ceiling constantly. We had a lot of leaks whenever it rained. And This is true. One day, Electra's brother was over, and the brother and sister were over. Ice cream, Evil Tyler, and $20 for Ice Cream Girl. If you're a fan that's been around for a while, and we were all playing, I think Mario Party 8 or something, and Electra goes to the bathroom and starts screaming. And in the bathroom, there were the drop ceiling, and a snake was just not falling, was like slithering down from out under the drop ceiling. Electra was pooping, and a snake is coming out the ceiling of the bathroom. We still lived there for another 8 months. That's when we started looking for another place. Yeah, but that was that. If you've seen the Hunt Down the Freeman stream, that was there. If you've seen, what was another thing that happened there? That was kind of a big deal. I'm thinking about all the memes that exist of me. The Hunt Down the Freeman stream was... Oh, the artifact bag was there. Yeah. I was there for like 2 years. Oh, Jungle Inferno coming out was there. Half-Life 2 Beta Minimalist mod was there. Did you move out? Yeah, we moved out. We found a townhouse about half an hour away that started at $850 a month, because this was we moved into the townhouse in November of 2019. Anybody remember that time? The before time? Then COVID hit. We were stuck in that house. I don't want to drum up the drama of that time, but oh my god, that time was wild. So when COVID hit, we got a 3-bedroom townhouse, and we were all splitting the rent, because it was me, Electra's sister, $20 for ice cream, and Evil Tyler were all living together. Oh, that was such a fucking... I was so angry. $20 she was asking $20 for drugs was the thing, right? I had an eviction notice because I was 1 day late. I completely forgot about that. Yeah. No, our landlord when we first moved there was great. And then like halfway through COVID, it switched to this other like corporate company thing. And I had rent at the time set up to be paid. So I was paying all of it, and then Electra's siblings would Venmo me their part of the rent, right? And they wouldn't always do that. But something broke, or like I had to re-authenticate my card, and it was like I didn't realize that the rent didn't happen for like 24 hours. There was like an error. It wasn't like I didn't have the money or anything. There was an error in the auto pay that I had set up on the card. And 24 hours later, I get a note on our door telling us to vacate in 3 days. Huh? And this was in the midst of the COVID eviction moratorium, or whatever it was. So it was illegal what they were doing. Thankfully, my cousin at the time is in law school, is now a lawyer. Called him up, explained the situation, and he's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? It was probably a 3-day pay or quit. No, it said eviction notice on the paper. In less than 24 hours. And like, that's insane, right? That's insane. So I call up in a panic attack the guy, the guy who was like our manager or whatever. He's like, oh well. I'm like, have I ever missed a payment ever? No. Okay, well, does it say that I didn't make a payment, or does it say on your end that there was a payment error? Oh yeah, it says payment error. Okay, sir, you realize there's an eviction moratorium going on right now because of COVID. And this is grounds for legal action on my part. Well, why don't you just tear that up and forget about it? So then I talked to all our neighbors and explained what had happened, and then, like, I should watch what I say. I'm a person that learns through being beaten down over the years to not publicly talk about political stuff. In the midst of 2020, you had COVID, you had the protests, you had everything going on. It's a very politically charged time, and I wanted to do some streams to raise some money for some stuff. So I said, like, yeah, I'm going to be a bit more open about my political ideologies and stuff because I want to do some streams where I raise some money for some stuff. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. We did a fundraiser for the Trevor Project. We did a fundraiser for the Minnesota Bail Fund. That was the worst part of this. That was the worst period of time in this job, in this entire job. Hi, kitty. She's not supposed to be out right now. How the fuck did you get out? She's just walking back into her bedroom. It's the basement, but so how I am nowadays that I've learned through trial by fire is a silent community action organizer, kind of. So, like, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. So I was taught through how horrible I was treated for saying things like trans rights and, you know, BLM and all that stuff. To just, instead of like armchair philosophizing, is that the word? Instead of just being like a social media whatever, just find ways to help the community and just do those things directly, whether that be financially or through volunteer work. Just every couple of days try and find out if there's something you can do. And so instead I do that because I feel like doing something in the community to better my own community is something that we are lacking as a society, as just the world. Like, we're so interconnected globally that we don't take the time to just kind of like look next to us and see that there are people struggling right in front of you. You know? And so you can do so much good in the world without threatening your own safety just by anonymously doing things. So if you ever want to help the world, if you ever want to see the world become a better place, find out who is, keep your ear to the ground, talk to people in your communities, people that live near you, your neighbors. Nobody's talking like nobody knows their fucking neighbors anymore. And I don't want to sound like a boomer, but like, odds are your neighbors are struggling just as much as you, if not more. And finding out ways to help them is one of the best things that you can do, period. You know? And it doesn't matter what they believe. They're still people. They're not corporate executives, you know? Okay, I'm really on the line here. So I'm going to stop there. So about that HLX, huh? Yeah. But yeah, so it's interesting. This job has taught me to be different. No game streams, no games this stream. So the Half-Life Marathon is going to start soon because the vibes are announcement at the end of the year, release sometime in 2026. That's the vibes. Those are. She's just like it's like she's just doing chores. What the fuck is going on? She's walking with such conviction. Tyler, show the rocket launcher. Okay. But there was something else. So the vibes are based on nothing but just instinct and pattern recognition in past situations. It's not based on sources. If it was based on sources, it would be a video. We're starting the Half-Life Marathon because the Half-Life Marathon is going to take months. Don't I think I'm going to be burned out on Half-Life because of the marathon? Well, we're doing the marathon a bit differently this time. We're not going in order. We're doing it random. Based vibes. We're doing it randomly. So everything has a number, and then we draw a random number from that number, and that includes official games, spin-off games, mods, total conversions, and just video games that are inspired by Half-Life. Or games that inspired Half-Life, right? That's going to take a long time. How do you convince yourself to play games instead of scrolling TikTok? I deleted TikTok. I'm not going to get too political, but ever since the ban was lifted, TikTok feels like a very different place. So I just deleted it. And I can't re-download it, so I just don't. I don't play TikTok. I played Bejeweled 3 for like 3 hours yesterday. That is such a better use of my time than scrolling on TikTok. Is there a list of what's included in the rolling? Yes. And it's ongoing. So if there's something you want to add to the list, something that you think should be added to the list, feel free to just ask, and I'll put it on the list. This is the list as it stands right now. Got 60 games on it. I asked people to... Oh, hello. I asked people to give me some suggestions. And yeah, Half Pain should go on here. What else we got? Echoes... Hunt Down the Freeman. Bioshock, no. Field Intensity, yes. That's the one that Richter did voice acting for. Entropy Zero Uprising. I'm unfamiliar with that one. So everybody keeps saying Soma. Soma's the one with the robot consciousness thing, right? Where it's like, oh, you got to escape the thing, but it's a copy, not a cut copy paste, but it's copy paste. And yeah, no, that's not going on the list. Soma's not Half-Life related at all. I played it back in the day. No. Time Shift, I don't want to play Time Shift again ever. We've already done Time Shift. Quake 4, yeah, okay. Well, actually, no, and we'll talk about why. Cry of Fear, is that not on here? It is not. Oh, Voices of the Void. Let's see. PTSD mod, no. Big Scientist, no. Minerva, yes. I think I already put They Hunger on the list, yeah. Half Rats, okay. Years and years and years and years ago, JC said that Half Rats sucked, and that was like a decade ago. And that has stuck with me. I've never played Half Rats. Signal Lost, that's just a demo. Combine Destiny, I don't know what that is. Underhell, yes. Even though it crashes, I'll try and see if I can... The whole Half-Life 1 and 2, no. USS Dark Star, yeah. Abiotic factor, absolutely. Burton equation. Gunman Chronicles is on there already. Boneworks is on there, yes. Divine Cybermancy. I know that it's on Source Engine, but that's an RPG. But a Source Engine game that doesn't get enough love that we will play is Dark Messiah. We will play that. G-String, yes. Shoutouts Lunchbox Studios. Singularity, that's a good one. Why no Quake 4? Because we're doing a Doom marathon too. Only this one is more official. We got some surprises coming down the pipe now that Dark Ages is going to be happening, and I'm very excited about that. Doom 3 is on the list, yeah. Dark Star, Hopelessness 1 and 2. I'm unfamiliar with Hopelessness 1 mod. Hopelessness mod for Half-Life. Okay, I'll put that on the list, I guess. What else are people saying? Half Pain and Half Nuked. I'll put Half Nuked on here. Jack 2. Okay, and then I also put this as a community post. Vampire the Masquerade, that's just straight up an open world RPG. We need Wolf 2009 on Steam again. We do. There's 2 Hunt Down. There's actually 4 Hunt Down the Freemans. And that's just because I like fucking with you guys. Portal and Portal 2, no. Oh god, the timeline mod. We're absolutely gonna play the timeline mod. I forgot about that. Fucking Half-Life Hitler. Doom RPG. We should do a tier list of all the soundtracks. That would be an interesting little fun video. What is Half-Life? Am I clicking on porn? What is this? Council cast with 5.
Will you release the timeshift beater build at any point or stream it maybe? I'm really curious about it even though it's only me LOL.
Oh, I forgot about that. No, it's out. It's on it's on archive.org. It's out. It's as soon as I found it, I uploaded it. What are you talking about? We're definitely playing Brutal Half-Life. Wolfenstein, no. Buck Bumble, 100%. 100% we're gonna play Buck Bumble. Are you kidding? Half-Life Alex is on there, and we're playing VR. Yeah. No, I have... This room is huge. We're doing VR. Are you kidding? I've yet to actually play VR in here, but this is a nice room. Can't find it, please send it to me. I'll look for it. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity buck bumble. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity buck bumble. Bump to the boop to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bop to the bumble. Bump to the boop to the bum to the bass. Bump to the buck to the bumble. It's a mate ulate. Half-Life 2 update? Half-Life 2 patch? Oh, there's a Half-Life 2 patch today. You sound a bit better today. Vladik Brutal? That's a good idea. Forgot about that one. You sound a bit better today? I'm okay. Workshop maps from Half-Life 2? Yeah. Was that one game where you hunt a witch? I don't know. Remember the CS Danger Zone ARG? Yeah, I do. Atomic Heart is on the list, yeah. You planning on playing Metro VR? I'll play Metro VR if somebody buys it for me, but I'm not spending my money on that right now. I'm trying to save my money. Abiotic Factory got a big-ass update. I really want to get into this game. When I've played it, I've really loved it, but the thing is, it's just like, oh, I gotta play this with people, because I'm playing it by myself, and I know that it's not, like, the way of doing it. But I really wish we could mod the original look of the game back into it. Because true story, Zag, the lead developer, and I have been friendly with each other since way before Abiotic Factor, because Zag used to be part of New Blood, and I have a relationship with everybody in New Blood, but I have kissed everyone at New Blood on the lips. But yeah, I remember when they first were talking about it, it just straight up looked like Half-Life 1, and then Valve was like, can you pull that back a bit, please? So do you have your old VODs? No. No, I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. Channeling your ego raptor, are we? I've been a lifelong fan of Aaron Hansen, and I don't know what you're talking about. Play Half-Life 2 on Gmod? Well, a cooperative experience and a single... Like, well, this is going to be going on all year, guys. Like, I don't expect an announcement until, like, November. You can quote me on that. No one will. Oh, because he's kissing people. Right. That's exactly where I got that from, too. Yeah. Fortress Connected. Oh, that weird 6-team game? I haven't looked into that one for a while. And I guess this is the time to announce that part of the marathon will also be the first real season of the Passionate Gamer Show. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm not going to explain it to people who don't know what that means. But the set is like 90% done. Yeah, it's so much. So everything that we'd done up until this point was done in this tiny room, like a closet-sized room, and now the room that I'm working with, like downstairs for that, is bigger than this room. Yeah, you'll literally click on one of the episodes of the marathon, and it will seem strange to new viewers. But I feel, does that mean we're replaying Half-Life? Yes, it does. But I feel like that's probably the best way I can introduce my audience into that concept, is to just play a bunch of Half-Life 1 mods in that situation, in that circumstance. Yep. Are we still going with reveal about... Oh, the story's completely changed. I've been brainstorming with some people about that. The story is going to take a while to unfold, so just give it some time. But it's finally happening. Thank Christ. How long will the show be? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. I've been watching this show about prostitutes. It's fucking great. It's got the one lady from Downton Abbey in it as like the best prostitute. It's called Harlots. It's on Hulu. It's really fucking good. It's a show about 18th century London brothels and the drama of those places. It's a fucking great show. And apparently it's loosely based on real people, which is kind of cool. Oh man, that's terrible. They're so skilled. That buffalo gonna get eaten. It's a historical show. I did the quest. I unlocked the jewel. There's not a whole lot I can do at the bottom floor here. I am so sick that I just kind of go into a trance and I'm just playing Bejeweled. That's all I'm doing. Jeweling up my Bejewels. Played Luxor. I love pretty much all the old PopCap games, guys. Like, I will never forgive for what they did to PopCap. Where the fuck is Peggle? Where is the Peggle franchise? Why won't they make another Peggle game? Am I on a oh, I am on a timer. What happened to them? EA bought them out and turned their franchises into these big AAA games instead of the little indie games that they were known for making. And so instead of making Peggle 3 or Plants vs. Zombies 3 or some kind of new idea, they made Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, which is a fine game. You know, they did their best, but it's not, it doesn't feel like PopCap at all. What was the last, it was Peggle 2, right? Peggle 2 is pretty great, but it's like one of the few games worth playing that's exclusive to Xbox consoles. Everybody makes fun of that guy for announcing Peggle 2, but he was announcing Peggle 2. Like, it's Peggle. Who doesn't like getting pegged? I mean, Peggle. That must be annoying to anybody who like, that must be a joke that everybody makes all the time. Horizontal matches. Oh, okay, it's this one. Yep. Oh. I did it. Your game is covering your. Oh wow! Hi. I'm ill. I don't feel well. You want to see something cool? It needs to be screwed together, and I need to put the other pieces on it. Don't do that when you have swine flu. This still needs to be glued together, and I don't know why they made it so damn big. There's another piece, I don't know where it is in this room. What happened to talking? It's in the box back there. There's one. Where is it? I'll have to find it. I don't know where it went. There was a pricing error at Target. So I got this for $11. Do you want a PS5? Yeah. I don't feel well. Bye. They 3D. They printed me a cow. They printed me the cardboard cutout of a cow from 2 Fort Red Team side. I can't find it though. It's a cow. You know the 2 Fort cow? The wooden 2 Fort cow? They printed me that and I can't find it. You see the video of the demo man laughing at the cow saying moo?